What is going on, KBR Sports family? Welcome back to the KBR Sports YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing a different kind of video today. I'm kind of changing up the format. So guys, I'm going to kind of explain it to you, and I want to see if you guys actually enjoy it this way more or the way previously before. But in today's video, I'm going to actually be detailing a lot of the reasons why Paul George is to blame for the current NBA structure as it is. So make sure before I get things kicked off, guys, subscribe to the KBR Sports YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that way you actually know when the videos are coming out, because what's the point of subscribing if you don't know when any of the videos are going to be dropping, right? So make sure you go ahead and hit the notification bell. And make sure you go ahead and leave a like as well. Hopefully you like the video. You know what I'm saying? The goal is to get the video to 100 likes. I think we can do that. I think we can honestly achieve that. If anybody that watches the video, that if your eyes touch this video and you click the like button, I truthfully believe we can get this video to 100 likes. I don't think that's too much to ask. I don't think that's a harsh relief. You know what I'm saying? So guys, leave a like, make sure you comment. And of course, I want to get a lot of you guys' input in regards to different things and how I'm changing the format of this video, because normally I do a backdrop of a lot of clips and stuff in my videos, and a lot of times I like to show what is going on in regards to what I'm talking about and show that for you guys while you're watching the video. But I feel like I want to also be more personable with you guys as well, because obviously people love having the guys like Stephen A. Smith, seen the Skip Baylesses, the Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is literally a walking meme because of all his facial expressions and all the crap he does on Fox Sports. So I figured, why not make myself more available to you guys? And I figured I'll put myself more so on camera as opposed to running the highlights all the time throughout the videos. So let me know if you guys prefer this format of the videos or if you prefer the previous format. Obviously, my feelings won't be hurt if you guys like it one or the other. You're like, damn, Brendan, you too ugly, bro. Get your face off the mother camera. Get off the camera. You know what I'm saying? I won't get upset with that, guys. If you're like,
you know what, your face is just so handsome, brother. I gotta see more of it. You know?
Thank you. You know, I'll be so flattered. Thank you. So, guys, let me know. That's my question for you guys. Let me know which format you prefer, yes or no. I'm going to pin it in the comment section below. And you'll also find all my other social media information down in the comments or down in the description of this video, such as my Twitter, Instagram, all that. So make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. But I did want to make sure I was touching on the video topic of the day, because I think we all saw what happened with the Paul George, Kawhi Leonard thing, and a lot of people felt like Kawhi Leonard really held the juice throughout the offseason and everything like that. And like I said, I really believe, truthfully, in my opinion, I felt like a lot of how the NBA in today is revolved around how Paul George has affected things, because essentially we had an earthquake, right? When the news got announced, there was an earthquake, and you would have thought that the news was the earthquake that hit everybody in the West Coast in California. And really it felt like the Kawhi Leonard and Paul George thing was just changing everything. It really turned the NBA over on its head after we've endured 3 years of the Golden State Warriors pretty much holding a clutch grip with the Infinity Gauntlet over everybody. And now that obviously the Warriors have disbanded and they've released the Infinity Gauntlet for multiple teams to kind of take their grabs at, I do want to explain how in ways Paul George led us to this point. And it really wasn't Kawhi. Even though Kawhi had the biggest decision to make of the summer, I feel as though in ways it was really Paul George who led us down this path. If you don't believe me, that's cool. That's cool. I got no issue. Guys, look, I am more than, at this point in my life, I am used to having to prove myself, and I will prove you wrong by the end of this video. I guarantee you that. So pretty much, I think if I'm gonna do that accurately, if I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability, I gotta take things all the way back to 2017, when Paul George initially requested his trade request from Indiana. And at the time, the Indiana Pacers had just got bounced out of the first round for the second consecutive season. And there wasn't any really clear way for them to get better. A lot of the issues that a lot of small market teams share with one another is that you're limited in how you can improve your team. In terms of free agency, you're not really going to land big time free agents. And when you have these guys like a Paul George, like Giannis, or just different guys, they want to win. And Paul George made that abundantly clear in his trade request that he wanted to play for a championship team. And in that course of action, it became no secret that Paul George was very interested in playing for his hometown Los Angeles Lakers. And he even said as much when he was talking about the trade or he was talking about his requests, and people were talking about how bad he wanted to play in Los Angeles.
You ask 80-70% of guys in the league if they would love to go back home and play in front of for their city, play for their home. That's all I stated. I would have loved to go back home and play for my city. So no regrets at all. No regrets.
And the Thunder pretty much came in and just swooped him up and said, no, that's not happening. And one of the ways that we see how the current infrastructure in the NBA is tied to Paul George is that right now, Indiana has Victor Oladipo and Sabonis, two key pieces that were involved in the Paul George trade that sent them over there and kept Indiana relevant in an Eastern Conference now where Indiana, you can make the argument, is one of the best teams. So that's one example of how Paul George is affected. He's affected the East, especially with his departure out of it. So in regards to how he affected the West now in terms of him going to the Thunder, the Lakers still felt like they had a chance. They were like, oh crap, the Thunder got him, but they didn't want to trade away their pieces like the Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and so on to get Paul George at the point in time. But they still felt as though the momentum was in their favor of landing Paul George, so much so that Magic Johnson had that appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live. I'm pretty sure you guys all remember the man was winking so hard. I swear that I felt uncomfortable how bad he was winking. But it was so apparent that the Lakers thought they were in that driver's seat that they got hit with a $500,000 fine, not only for what Magic Johnson did on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show, but also because Rob Pelinka, behind closed doors, was talking to Paul George's agent while Paul George was still under contract for another team. Obviously, that impacted things in terms of where Paul George was going to go. And then obviously, as the season plays on, we see how the Thunder, and this is the first year of him at the Thunder, so that's him, Carmelo Anthony, and Russell Westbrook. And we see how obviously things turned out very sour at the end of that year because they got bounced out in the first round by the Utah Jazz in an embarrassing fashion, because that was Donovan Mitchell's rookie season, even though in many ways that team was technically perfectly constructed to beat the Thunder, because most of the Thunder scoring is done in the paint. Guess who's sitting in the paint for the Jazz? Rudy Gobert. But that's besides the point. Pretty much they got bounced out in the first round. So the Lakers felt like, okay, we're in good position here. Because not only did the Lakers feel like they could get Paul George, but most of people thought they were going to get LeBron James too. So the allure of landing George and LeBron is what the Lakers were baking off of, that Paul George would want to pair with LeBron James. But then the most shocking thing happened that nobody saw coming. This man, Paul George, recommits to play with the Thunder in the form of a 4-year, $137 million deal. And what was surprising about that deal is that he didn't even take any meetings before signing it. He literally spoke only to the Thunder. He had that whole ESPN special about his free agency, and it just went back to them. He didn't even meet with the Lakers. He didn't meet with the Clippers. He didn't meet with Boston. Nobody. It was only the Thunder. And it caught everyone off guard because of all the Los Angeles talk, especially after the early flame out last year. And PG went back saying that his belief that the continuity of the team was what made him want to go back, and his relationship with Russell Westbrook is what brought him back. A lot of people, he thought that he would win a championship, and he even said it. He would have been a Laker. If the Lakers would have traded for him at that point in time, he said, I would have been a Laker. I would have been wearing a Laker uniform. And so that really caught the Lakers off guard, because it was like, dude, you were pretty much here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was so much build up to the anticipation you were going to come here. And a lot of Laker fans feel like Paul George faked. And even though he pretty much wanted to run it back, feeling like, okay, another year of me, Russ, we'll get another chance with this group of guys, we'll have a better chance to win. Yeah, it didn't exactly happen that way. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong at all. Paul George had a great year. He had an MVP caliber season. He was third in MVP voting. He had his best scoring season yet. He led the league in steals, and he was a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. You know what I mean? Like, that's a great year. And the Thunder were trending to be one of the best teams in the NBA until he hurt his shoulder. Yeah, once Paul George hurt his shoulder, that's when things got a little different. They got a little tricky, because once he hurt his shoulder, then the offense and the team kind of shifted. And what I mean by saying that is that they became very Russell Westbrook dominated. And the locker room, the perception of the team and everything, when Paul George was that guy, the locker room was a lot more relaxed. Paul George is a chill guy. You know what I mean? He's more relaxed than Russell Westbrook is. But when Russell Westbrook became the focal point of the offense again, it became a lot more rigid. And so the tenor of the team just felt a little bit different. And obviously, we all know what happened. You know, a lot of people thought that this was the year for the Thunder. They thought that even though they fell to the 6th seed because of the Paul George injury and stuff like that, he was still able to play, and Russell was still an MVP caliber kind of player that they felt as though this team has enough talent, they can get to the Western Conference Finals. And once the deck of cards lined up and they saw their first matchup in the first round was going to be the Portland Trailblazers, it seemed like it was a match made in heaven for them to get to the Western Conference Finals, because they wouldn't have to play Houston, they wouldn't have to play Golden State, and they would have to play most likely the Spurs, the Portland Trailblazers, or Denver Nuggets. And so their odds were looking pretty good in terms of their chances of getting to the Western Conference Finals. And Portland had just lost Yusuf Nurkic to that horrific injury. So people were putting their money on OKC, saying, okay, Oklahoma City should win this series. Yeah, you guys remember what happened, right? All right, let me show you. This.
Lillard, a chance to send the Thunder home. Lillard, long-range three, and it's good! At the buzzer! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Dame Dollar came through and pretty much said, yeah, bump all that. I'm ending the season now. He got a green release from deep, hit the shot over Paul George to pretty much end the Thunder season. So we had another first round exit and in underwhelming fashion for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And so now we're sitting here in a situation where the Thunder have had 2 consecutive first round exits, right? And they're a luxury tax team. Okay, so they're one of the most expensive teams in the league, but they're losing in the first round. And so if you're a general manager, you're an owner, that is the worst prospective future or outlook for your team when you're paying so much for this team, but the upside is so limited and they're only getting bounced out in the first round. And there's no way to improve the team because you're already over the luxury tax. And what are you going to trade to get them? Because you traded most of your tradable assets to land Paul George and so on. And so when we're looking at it and you can't really see a way to make the team better, kind of similar to Indiana. And think about it. If I know this, the Thunder probably knew it too. So GM Sam Presti knew it. Russell Westbrook, he saw the writing on the wall. Most likely, Paul George saw the writing on the wall too. And so the Thunder are trying to figure out a way to get out of this. And then who do you know comes knocking on the door? The Los Angeles Clippers, right? We see free agency get started off. Everything is going crazy. Kevin Durant decides to go to Brooklyn with Kyrie Irving and everything. And little do we know behind the scenes, Kawhi Leonard is the guy that takes the longest to make his decision. But then we start getting more information about Kawhi wouldn't want to come to the Clippers unless he had a second star going with him. He tried to get Kyrie Irving. He tried to get Kevin Durant. None of the guys wanted to come. And so who was the last ditch chance for them to land to try and make sure they got the reigning finals MVP? Come in Paul George in the scene. And it's kind of worked to their fortunes that Paul George and Kawhi shared similar California ties. I mean, both guys have known each other dating back to high school and their college years. So the idea of them playing together, I mean, the last time it was really a reality was when Kawhi was drafted to the Pacers, even though it faded away like pretty quickly because the Pacers traded Kawhi Leonard for George Hill and all that stuff. Yeah, when you look back on the trade, it's like, dude, what? But yeah, I'm not going to kill the Pacers over that because they didn't know what Kawhi was going to. Yeah, guys, let's not do that. But even though everybody saw the writing on the wall and we saw that, we see that the Clippers want to get Paul George, nobody really had the power to make that happen except for Paul George. Paul George, who had just signed that 4-year deal with the Thunder, and now he has to go into that same exact Thunder office a year later and be like, I want to request a trade. And it was him who did end up making that plunge for his future and wanting to go to the Clippers. Now let's talk about everything that's happened since that very moment, okay? All the turn of events that have taken place since Paul George requested his trade from the Thunder to the Clippers. All right, so 1, obviously he got traded. That's we know that's happened. 2, Kawhi Leonard signed with the Clippers. As a result of Paul George leaving the Thunder are like, okay, now we're definitely trying to form a rebuild now and make these draft picks into something and develop our young players like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And so they're like, what are we going to do with Russell Westbrook? There's another team that has a player that they feel like they've topped out at their ceiling. They can't get around the Golden State hump, and they don't think they can win next year as currently constructed. Bring in the Houston Rockets. And so Paul George's move leads to Russell Westbrook getting traded now to the Houston Rockets for Chris Paul and some draft picks, right? And so we're looking at these turn of events, that all these things that happen. Who were the top title contenders in the Western Conference? The Clippers and the Rockets. So he literally affected two teams and making them become the top title favorites. The Rockets were already in that conversation, but now with Russell Westbrook, you assume they improve. So he single-handedly changed the fortunes of two teams directly. But let's not forget the Lakers in all of this, right? Because what if Paul George decides, hey, after that first round exit, he's like, I want to go pair up with LeBron and I want to go play with him. How does that change things for the Lakers? Do they make the playoffs last year? Do they have as bad a season as they did? Do the young players for the Lakers get traded? Because what if they do have a great season? Do all those young players get traded in what looks like it could be a finals team, Western Conference finals team? Do the Lakers still go and get Anthony Davis and land Anthony Davis to form their own new and reinvigorated big three? Think about all these possibilities that could have happened with Paul George because of his initial trade request to want to leave Indiana. Now, Indiana is a team in the Eastern Conference that they're waiting to get back Victor Oladipo, but they're trying to build around a team by signing guys like Malcolm Brogdon to contend in the Eastern Conference. But all this happens because of Paul George. If Paul George would have went to the Lakers, arguably parity wouldn't be intact in the NBA at this point in time. The only reason we have so many teams that are viable and the talent is more spread out is because Paul George didn't go to the Lakers. The Lakers still would have kept all their assets if Paul George would have just signed there in free agency, and they would have had the ability to go get an Anthony Davis or go get some other top-notch star player with all those assets. Honestly, he's part of the cause to the effect of what today's NBA is. And I told you I would prove it. I feel like I've done that in this video. If you don't agree with me, comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Paul George is a big part of the reason why the NBA is the way it is today, even more than Kawhi Leonard? Just comment yes or no. Let me know what you guys think. And always, guys, make sure you subscribe to the KBR Sports podcast and YouTube channel. Right here, you can hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well so you guys don't miss any future KBR Sports videos. And make sure you guys leave a like. I told you guys, I'm trying to get this video to 100 likes. So, that's the goal. I need help doing that. There's not 100 me's to go around and dislike the video 100 times. So I need help, guys. So if you guys don't mind, leave a like on the video. I would appreciate that. And also make sure you guys give me different ideas about what you think about the format and everything. Make sure you guys don't forget to do that as well. And if you guys have video ideas as well, don't forget to go ahead and send those over to me. I always try to make videos about what you guys are interested in. And I just wanted to try this out because my best friend, Prince Sechi, he even recommended me doing this. So that's one of the reasons why I've changed the format to some ways to change it over a bit. But if you guys see now, man, when I'm talking, I gotta, make sure I'm all freshened up. Because before, you guys only saw me on camera for about a total of a minute. Now it's about 10 minutes or so. So gotta make sure I'm looking good. You know what I'm saying? Freshened up. You know what I mean? Guys, I'm foolish, man. Now when I'm on camera, I'm gonna be more foolish and stuff most of the time. So guys, I appreciate you all for tuning out. And until next time, I'm out. Guys, I normally do a whole introduction and everything to this, to the YouTube channel. What's up, guys? Welcome to the KBR Sports YouTube channel. Not today. No, actually, you know what? It is going to come just later, because let me tell you guys, you guys are going to hear from your parents. If you haven't already, if you haven't experienced life enough to learn this aspect of life, you're going to find out from your parents that people make mistakes. It's regular. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Me, you, all of us make mistakes. I made a mistake in recording this video. So right now, you're hearing me through this microphone, okay? And the video, you're going to hear me not with the microphone. So you're going to hear me completely audio coming from the camera. the camera. Because you know, one of those mistakes that I made, you know, normally I check, and I did check. I checked, and I'm like, okay, make sure you are not muted before recording the mother-tucking video. All right. And, you know, I failed myself today because I recorded the whole video, you know, 20 minutes worth of content. And by the end of the video, I'm sitting back. I'm like, all right, time to record or time to edit and everything. And, and you know, I press play and no sound, you know, nothing. And I'm just like, are these working? You know what I mean? I'm raising the volume up on my MacBook. I'm like, hold on. You know, I'm trying to see what's going on, and all I do is look down at the setting and I see microphone muted. So, guys, if you're going to come to a verdict on this format, and you're going to hear more about that in the later part of the video, just mind you that the audio is affected because it's coming directly from the camera. So, guys, stay tuned and you'll see the rest of such a great YouTube video, despite audio sounding different. Thanks, guys.